the wing pretty much complete, we still have to build the ailerons. Pretty simple to build. These are your parts right here. The important thing with the aileron is to make sure they're built flat. Try not to introduce any twists or warps. Everything is built now, with the exception of the control horn, which would fit in here. That's not installed until the final assembly after it's been covered. There are two of these slots are smaller and they just take one rib each. This slot's a bit thicker. It actually takes two of the balsa, and then you sandwich this 1/32 plywood in between them. You want to make sure that this center plywood piece is fully seated, otherwise we might have issue with the control horn when it's time to install it. Alright, so this spar is supposed to fit. The ribs actually extend out a little bit past the trailing edge here, just enough for this carbon fiber strip to fit inside of them. So on second thought, I won't sand that down. See how it kind of fits in between the top and the bottom of this wedge. It just kind of slides right along, making kind of a triangle. Alright, so after a little bit of sanding, trimming, here's the aileron. I just wanted to try to show, if I can, how straight it is. That carbon fiber strip on the trailing edge really helps to make it and keep it straight. Let's see if this thing, come on, there we go, there's the focus. So it looks pretty good. The sides, I've just started sanding them a little bit, gave them a little knockoff. Probably won't take too much more. And the carbon fiber strip makes it quite stiff. And you can still bend it a little bit, but it is quite stiff, especially considering how flimsy, if you will, the rest of the structure is. So the ailerons are almost finished now. The only thing left to do is to hinge them. Since the ailerons already have the beveled leading edge built in, there's no need to bevel it or to round it over. You just leave it the way it is. I've already done the one aileron. They aren't glued in yet, but the hinge slots have been cut. The one thing that I'm not thrilled about with the kit is there's no backing material inside here for the hinge to glue into. Basically all you have are the pieces of balsa. According to the plans, the back should go into this piece here, but I can't really tell if it's going into it or not. If I had this to do over again, and I wished I had looked a little further ahead, I would put a little bit of backing balsa in this area just to give a little more security. Also, as you can see, there's not a whole lot of material for the hinge to go into the trailing edge of the wing. Given the fact that you have so much hinge material, I think I would have done it a little bit differently. Instead of cutting these 4 smaller pieces, I think I would have just cut 2 out of the hinge and just made them longer. Anyway, that's the way the kit's designed, so that's the way we'll go with it. Cutting the slots, not difficult, but I've never actually had to try to cut a slot on a sharp point like this. To cut the slots, I thought in order to keep the blade tracking true and not kind of wander off one side or the other, what I have done is to just cut away a little slice off the leading edge, and that kind of gives me a mark, kind of where the center line is, and then just start slowly cutting in the slot. Not really rocket science. Hinges are done. I won't glue them in until after covering, but at least the slots are done. And everything seems to line up pretty well. So I believe we can call the ailerons done until covering. Okay, so I guess I wasn't really quite finished with the ailerons yet. I still needed to cut the slots in the trailing edge of the wing. As you can see, they've been done. What's really nice about this kit, a really nice touch, is that the slots for the aileron and the trailing edge of the wing, they were already pre-laser cut. all you had to do was open them up a little bit. I had to elongate the slots just a little bit to match up with the hinge material. But that's actually quite simple. The pre-slotting with the laser cutting helps a whole lot, saves a whole lot of time in having to do that. So everything looks good. Everything moves very, let's see if we can get here, moves very freely. You get 45 degrees up and 45 degrees down. Works really well. Oh, one thing I did do, I used some of the scrap 1/16 inch sheet in the kit, and I cut out some more meat for the hinges to stick into. They're basically it's a 1/16 inch thick sheet, and they're 1/4 inch wide by 1/2 inch long. Little pieces that I just glued in. The 8 of them really don't add any weight at all, and may not even really be necessary. I mean, this kit's been on the market for a long time and they haven't modified it, so I'm thinking it probably doesn't matter. But just for peace of mind for me, I just wish I had thought about doing that to the leading edge of the aileron as well. Anyway, on to the next thing. Come on. Hey, where'd you go? Where did you go? Where did you? Well, ready? Oh, you're getting smart. You're getting smart. You're getting smart. All right. Look at it. All right. Come on, good boy. Good boy. All right, give me that ball. Give me that ball.